I stood frozen in the middle of the bar, heart hammering against my ribs, as the woman who had just paid me $5,000 for sex kissed me on the cheek in front of all my friends. I realized in that terrifying second that I wasn't just a guy down on his luck anymore. I was a prostitute, and I had absolutely no idea how to get out of the hole I dug. Pause. Deep breath. To understand how I got to that point, you have to understand the mess I was in. I'm 31, single, and honestly, I hate myself right now. A few years ago, I was doing great. I had savings, I had a plan. But then the drinking started, and then the gambling. It's a vicious cycle, man. You drink to forget the losses, and you gamble to pay for the drinks. Before I knew it, I was living check to check, drowning in debt, working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. My only escape was this bar across the street from my apartment. It's where I met Lynn. She's in her 50s, beautiful, the kind of woman anyone would be lucky to be with. We became good friends, and I started crushing on her hard. But Lynn came with baggage, specifically her friend Barb. Barb is older. Much older. Like older than my mom. And from day one, she made it very clear she wanted me. It was awkward. I wasn't attracted to her at all, but she bought me drinks, and when you're broke, you don't turn down free booze. It was annoying because I couldn't hang out with Lynn without Barb tagging along, making these suggestive comments. About a month ago, I was at the bar, drunk and completely broke after losing everything at the slots again. My phone buzzed. It was Barb. She asked if I could help her hang some Christmas lights at her place in exchange for food and drinks. I was desperate, so I said yes. I walked over, and guys, her building is insane. Brand new, upscale, top-floor condo with high ceilings and a view of the city. I was blown away. As I was hanging the lights, she started opening up to me about her life. Nasty divorce, lonely, sexually starved. I listened, drank her beer, and tried to be a good friend. But then, things took a turn. Voice drops, sounding ashamed. I was irresponsibly drunk. She asked if I wanted to shower with her. I don't even know why I agreed. Maybe I just didn't want the night to end? We got in and, well, nature took its course physically, even if mentally I wasn't into it. Later, we were lying in her massive bed, and she just flat out asked me, "What would it take for you to go down on me?" I thought she was joking. In my drunken stupor, I laughed and said, $200 and a frozen pizza. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I'll give you $400 if you make me finish." Pause, tone of disbelief, and just like that, she pulled up her nightgown. And I did it. I walked out of there with $400 in my pocket. The disgust was there, sitting in the back of my mind, but I pushed it down because I needed that money. A week later, she texted again. Same story. I was broke and drunk. I went over. This time, I negotiated. It was the most awkward conversation of my life, haggling over the price of my own dignity. I walked away with $75. It felt pathetic. But then, I found out the truth. I was hanging out with Lynn, and she dropped a bomb on me. Barb isn't just comfortable. She is multimillionaire rich. Old money, land deals, rich ex-husband kind of rich. Lynn showed me pictures of her other estates, and my jaw hit the floor. Suddenly, the gears in my addict brain started turning. I started going to the bar hoping to see Barb. When she finally texted me again, I played hard to get. But eventually, I went over. The lights were off, she was naked, and she asked me what it would take. I swung for the fences. I asked for $1,500. She laughed, but we settled on $800. And then it escalated. A few days later, she wanted the full girlfriend experience. Massage, everything. I jokingly asked for $5,000. She agreed, without blinking. Voice rising in intensity, $5,000. In less than a week, I had made over $7,000. I paid my rent in cash. I filled my fridge. I fixed my car. I bought Christmas presents. For the first time in years, the crushing weight of debt was gone. I actually felt good. I convinced myself this was fine. Then came that night at the bar. I was in a great mood, hanging with my friends, feeling on top of the world. Then Barb walked in. She beelined right for me, sat down and kissed me on the cheek. My friend's jaws dropped. My face went nuclear red. My heart felt like it was going to explode. She acted like she owned me. When I tried to leave, she just winked and said, "Will I see you later?" I ran home and had a panic attack. I realized that if my friends found out I was sleeping with her, that's one thing. But if they found out I was doing it for money, I'd be a pariah. I felt like a piece of trash. I hated myself. I hated that I let my gambling and drinking get me to a place where I was selling myself to a woman I wasn't even attracted to. Pause. Shift to a reflective tone. That was a year ago. I figured I owed you guys an update on what happened after that night. I didn't see Barb for a month after the bar incident. I was terrified she was telling everyone, but it turned out she was just visiting family in Arizona. My friends never said anything, so I think I dodged a bullet. They probably just thought I was weird for running away. When she finally came back, she texted me to help take down the Christmas lights. I went over, expecting another transaction. But to my surprise, she actually just wanted the lights down. She sat me down and told me that she wanted to stop. She said she got caught up in the heat of the moment, but paying for sex made her feel filthy. She offered a friends with benefits situation instead. Sex for fun, no money. Slight laugh, and that was my out. I told her I wasn't interested in casual sex unless I was pursuing a relationship. I admitted that I only made an exception because of the money. I basically told her, "I'm not attracted to you, but if you want to pay me again, let me know." I know. Some people told me to secure the bag, and honestly, part of me misses the easy cash. But it ended there. Things are better now. Different. I made a major career shift. I took a pay cut, but I'm only working one job now, and the stress is way lower. I still drink socially and I still gamble, but not like before. I'm not betting my rent money anymore. Looking back, I realize I was in a really dark place. Around that time, I had just left an abusive relationship and had to put my dog down because he became aggressive and bit a child. I was grieving, I was broke, and I was looking for any way to numb the pain. Barb and I still see each other at the bar sometimes. We smile, we chat, but that part of our lives is over. I'm 33 now. I'm not exactly where I want to be, and I still have my vices, but I'm not drowning anymore. I'm just taking it one day at a time, trying to keep the car on the road. But looking back at that week where I made $7,000, it feels like a fever dream. So, I have to ask, if you were drowning in debt and someone offered you $5,000 for one night and nobody would ever know, would you have done it? Or did I sell my soul for cheap? Let me know what you think in the comments. Be honest.